The number one influence in a child's life is you. I want to talk a little bit about the psychology of human beings for just a second. If you understand this, then you'll be way more apt to teach your child instead of trying to force them or manipulate them into doing anything. Here's what happens. Every human being creates a database in their head of what is safe and what is important. We begin this process when we're infants. There's a hierarchy of what we look to or who we look to in order to create that database to understand our world and where we're at and who we are. The number one most influential source in our life is our biological parents. Bar none, hands down, no other influence has a greater impact. Number one on that list is the mother. So when the mother begins feeding that baby and cuddling them and taking care of them, then they start to imprint and they start to register. So if mom does this, then I can do this. This is why children who come from abusive families end up being abusers, because they've seen and modeled that behavior. Unless they break the cycle, it's baked into them because that's what they grew up with. And it affects everything. Health, the way we eat, the way we think, the way we talk, our mannerisms. My parents got divorced, so we didn't spend a lot of time with my uncles and my dad's brothers and siblings. My parents had been divorced for a while, and we hadn't really seen him. We hadn't seen any of the aunts and uncles. And then we got invited to this Boswell family reunion. And we showed up, and it was mind-blowing. Our uncles were wearing similar watches, similar clothes, had similar tricks of speech and mannerisms. You can say it's genetics, but it's also being around the family. Here's why this is important. The number one influence in a child's life is you. Mom first, dad second. You are the number one influence. It's hardwired into us as human beings. And they want to learn from you. They want to follow you. The reason children start to rebel is, number one, they never gain a sense of identity. But number two, a lot of parents use the three negative tactics so much that the child's natural spirit starts to push back and model the parent's behavior. If the parents have used physical force, the child will want to physically leave and withdraw and pull away. If the parents have used emotional manipulation, the child will want to emotionally manipulate back and strike out at the parents. If they use unnatural consequences, the child's going to want to get away with everything. The child will model that behavior. You're teaching them. What we're saying here is teach them in a positive way.